Going to use a more aggressive saw to clean up some of these little bits that stick out there. Just going to get that down before I work out either with a hatchet. Get a piece kind of just barely sticking out. I'm going to come down, just kind of inspect it, clean up the bits that we need. Still not going to shorten it yet. A couple little nicks here we could probably work slowly at. This might be better with the multi-tool. That's about as clean as I'm going to get this axle onto the saw. Then, see what we can do with the hatchet. The hatchet can take that out, but if you're too aggressive, you may actually cause flat spots in the wood a little bigger than you wanted them to tear out when you knot it. This can be good for some of those more solid lumps. Kind of work at it. I find the hatchet's easy. Great weight, as long as it's relatively sharp. Stretch something. Got a bit of weight. This one I less breaks already. Stuff less. Got the weight of the hatchet. And I would need to get some rough stuff off here. Cleaned out the area. I get to some of those spots with the branch of line. But you know what? It works with it okay. Stop it here. As long as they're not too crazy. So this does a quick job. See, this goes down pretty quick. But you don't want to be spending the month stripping food. It's not fun. You want to get this is a good way to practice working with the tool, making sure you're safe. So in scouting, we want to make sure we have one simple hatchet. It's going to be farther than with a knife, but it is really with your arm edge stretched with the tool moving, making sure you have at least clearance. It really is kind of a shaving tool. Depending on where you're working, if you're on a campsite with a bunch of food, picnic table here, we might only have to use, but realistically, we might need 4. We're going to want to keep one to 4 inches. Pretty far apart to really supervise that. So you're probably limited to remember a picnic table to have on some sites. This way, do some of the things, hit some of the knots in other areas where we can kind of get some of that rougher stuff. Put a little bit of force in that chop there, but if it's really, really tough, just be careful what you're doing. You might need to shave that out to something more delicate to look at it, so you don't end up with more material gone than you wanted, and all that time collecting, start shaving, and then do something. So I like to get those things first that stick out with the saw, and look at some of the bigger chunks with the hatchet, just stop at that. Minor details are going to come up to you. You can do the whole thing with that. Playing with the tools, the more you use them, the more you get used to them. You get so many different things. There's no one right way. It'll be the stripping of the hatchet. What I want to do is get it down a little bit cleaner than that. And this is where the practice working with your knife will do things. Maybe you don't need to be doing long strokes with a lot of more control if you're not putting a lot of force. You just need to make sure you have people to show the blade. See, this is really good down. I put my blade in too sharp. It's going to bite in and I'm not going anywhere. I really don't want to extend my blade farther than I can push down past the elbow. So I'm not doing these rough, wild strokes. But that's just going to be a problem with people around. So, it's a nice one. Also, I'm not doing this between my legs. You have to think about something called a triangle fit. And I think there's more than one triangle. Yeah. It's not the point in your knee that you're going on both sides. But you've also got from your groin up to your shoulder, face going down. You really don't want to be working with knives flying at those legs. Don't like sitting with something between my over a leg, down on something. I also don't want to be pushing towards something. Remember, you need one circle. So what that is, as far as you can reach with your arm, make sure you can't touch anyone. And make sure no one's running around. If you've got some people working with guys and you're sitting around, forcing around, you need to adjust that. Because that's when it's I'm really just pushing down. It's kind of a push cut with one finger. I've got that thumb. I really like to jump in on a knife and that pushing in behind the hand. I'm pushing down, not wildly. Just watch. I'm just going to push that down. It's going to get slippery, and that's okay. The wood here, starting feels like it's warming up to some stuff. About 0. Now I can feel some moisture on it. I mean, this is really, you're not making this better. Same idea. I'm going to rotate. Same thing as making this. Try and clean it out. Clean up. You're going to get hung up in the spot with knots, this is the way this is natural material. Not perfectly smooth. Now, depending on how you want your staff to look, will depend on how far down you take it. You understand that. And I want to get it down there as soon as you can. Really easy to work with the pocket knife. It's going to give a lot of experience. Now, if we do get to fucking cool stuff, you can put a little muffle like that. See a nice sharp knife. This is a little bit of a wax, a little bit of a shot. That I can see happening when you get around somewhere where there's another branch on you. Got to get some practice. First, get the major tool. I like to work with stuff. And if you don't get it perfect, you're going to have lots of interesting colors. It might be nice in your stuff. If not, it'll work at it a little longer. And I think if you have a bunch of these, it's really healthy. You'll see when you stain it out. This is why I leave extra on the bottom too. Get it down clean as you can. And I actually saw it off some extra length. And a little bit more work on this thing. Got a lot of work to do on this one. See, mostly done. It's not perfect. It's got a little bit of work. I did this one a couple of weeks ago. Once you let them dry out, they really get a lot lighter, but still a lot of stoutness to this. This one had knots here and there, and there's still some work to be done here, smoothing that out. You can still feel straight lines and angles from the shaving with the knife. It's got lots of little angles on it, little bits that might stick up. Feeling some of that, and you want to get some of that up, take your knife, and you're not trying to cut, you're just kind of rubbing, and you can leave it on a bit of an angle, but I find trying to do it 90, you're going to need to sharpen your knife after. Just up and down, you'll hope get some of that, and then later, that's your sandpaper, that'd be the next stage here. Smooth that all in. You get some of that work done, just back and forth with your blade that way. You could, if you have a sharp spine on your blade, and this one does, also do that. What we're trying to do, catch those rough spots, smooth it in, ready to go. Some people might even stain this up at this point. It really isn't that bad on the hand. Make sure that you have your knife permit if you're a youth. You can learn how to do that by talking to your scouters. And this time, not a whole lot on the history, but more just looking at, hey, we're going to focus on a couple of the tools, and even more so just on the folding knife. That is the primary implement for scouting youth. Like, subscribe, share, and get out and make your own videos.